Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. The morning sun streamed through the sheer curtains, casting a soft glow across the room. I lay in bed, the events of the night before playing in my mind like a looped video. Lisa had come home late again, her smile too bright, her laugh a little too forced. Something was off, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. As she showered, I noticed her purse lying carelessly on the dining table, something she usually kept close. Driven by a nagging suspicion, I approached it and peered inside. Among the usual clutter was a small, metallic object that caught my eye, a key, shiny and unscuffed, clearly seldom used. Looking for something? Lisa's voice startled me as she wrapped a towel around her hair. Just your phone, I lied, quickly pulling out her smartphone. Thought I'd check the weather before we planned the day. She eyed me for a moment, then shrugged, disappearing into the bedroom. My heart raced as I pocketed the key. It was a small act of betrayal, but my gut told me something wasn't right. Later that day, I casually brought it up. "So, what's with the key in your bag?" I asked as we sipped coffee in our sunny kitchen. "Oh, that?" She looked up, her face a perfect picture of innocence. "It's just a key to Melanie's summer house. I must have taken it by mistake last time I was there." Melanie's summer house, a plausible explanation, yet something in her tone didn't sit right with me. I decided to verify her story. The next weekend, I made an excuse to visit the town where Melanie's dacha was located. The drive was long, the autumn leaves swirling in the wind as I mulled over the possible outcomes of this trip. When I finally stood before the quaint house, the key in my hand felt heavy with significance. I slid it into the lock, held my breath, and turned. It didn't fit. My mind raced as I drove to meet my friend, Alex, who lived nearby. Maybe he could offer some perspective. "You look troubled," he noted as I arrived. I laughed humorlessly. "Just some marital issues, I guess." I thought Lisa was keeping something from me, and I was right. As we talked, I fumbled with my keys on the table, and Alex's eyes suddenly widened. "Where did you get my keys?" he blurted out. His keys? Confusion clouded my mind. Then it hit me, the key I found wasn't to Melanie's place, it was to Alex's. Alex looked as shocked as I felt. I didn't know," he stammered, his face pale. "I swear, if I'd known she was your wife." We sat in silence, the weight of his unintentional betrayal hanging between us. I couldn't blame him, he was as much a victim of Lisa's lies as I was. Now, I needed to think. Revenge against Lisa simmered in my mind, but it had to be calculated, precise. I'd start by. As Alex and I talked, the seeds of a plan took root. Whatever I decided, one thing was clear, Lisa's deception would not go unpunished. And strangely, through this twisted revelation, my bond with Alex only grew stronger. We were united, not just by betrayal, but by a need to right the wrongs done to us. The evening was cool, the sky a blanket of twilight as Alex and I sat across from each other at a small cafe downtown, our coffee cup steaming gently in the dim light. The street was bustling, but our conversation was a private bubble of tension and strategy. "So, what's the plan?" Alex asked, leaning forward, his eyes searching mine for a hint of the storm I felt brewing inside. I stirred my coffee slowly, thinking. "First, we gather information. We need to know how deep this goes. If Lisa has lied about this, what else is she hiding?" "Right. Do you think Melanie knows anything?" he asked, his brow furrowing. "It's possible. I'll talk to her tomorrow. I need to know if she was part of this or just another pawn in Lisa's game." The next day, I met Melanie at the same cafe. Her surprise at seeing me was genuine, or so it seemed. "Hey, what brings you here?" she greeted me with a hug, her smile warm but a touch too quick. "I need to ask you something important," I said, cutting straight to the chase as we took our seats. Lisa said she had your summer house key. It was actually Alex's. Did you know about this? Melanie's face fell, her eyes darting away before meeting mine again. I had no idea. Lisa told me she had to handle something personal and needed privacy. I didn't ask questions. I trusted her. Disappointment tightened in my chest, but I nodded. I appreciate your honesty, Melanie. On my way out, a text from Alex buzzed my phone, meet me now. Something's come up. Rushing to his apartment, I found him pacing. I checked her laptop, he blurted out as soon as I entered. Found emails between her and someone named D. They've been planning meetings whenever you were out on business trips. The pieces of the puzzle were starting to fall into ugly place. We need more than just emails for whatever we plan next, I said, my mind racing through scenarios. Agreed. I know a PI, Maya. She's discreet and thorough. Should we bring her in? Alex suggested, already pulling out his phone. Do it, I consented with a curt nod. Maya proved to be an invaluable addition. Over the next few days, she unearthed not just the depth of Lisa's deceit but also her trails of lies that went beyond just unfaithfulness. There were financial discrepancies, secret accounts, and more. Gentlemen, Maya said as we gathered in a private room at a local library, the more I dig, the more there is. Lisa is planning something big. Something soon. And it involves a lot of money moving in questionable directions. Alex and I exchanged a glance. We stop her, I stated firmly. Whatever she's planning, we end it before it starts. The air was charged with a silent agreement. We were in this deep now, not just to expose Lisa or to seek revenge, but to prevent something potentially disastrous. Tomorrow, I announced, we confront her. We lay everything out and watch her play her last hand. As I left the meeting, the weight of the upcoming confrontation settled on my shoulders like a mantle. The night was dark, the stars hidden, mirroring the turmoil inside me. Tomorrow, everything would change. The morning air is crisp, tinged with the promise of conflict as Alex and I drive to confront Lisa. The car is silent, each of us lost in our thoughts, preparing for the storm that's about to break. The plan is simple: confront Lisa with everything we know, demand explanations, and watch carefully for any slip or lie. The silence is finally broken by Alex's deep breath. Are you ready for this? He asks, his voice steady but concerned. As ready as I'll ever be, I reply, feeling the weight of the upcoming confrontation like a stone in my stomach. We arrive at our house, the familiar sight now seeming alien in the context of deception. Lisa's car is in the driveway, innocent yet incriminatory. We exchange a look and step out, our strides purposeful and synchronized. The door opens before we can even knock, Lisa standing there, her smile faltering as she sees the seriousness etched on our faces. What's wrong? She asks, an edge of nervousness in her voice. We need to talk. It's important, I state plainly, pushing past her into the living room. She closes the door slowly, turning to face us with dawning apprehension. Alex wastes no time. We know about the emails, the secret meetings, and the money. It's over, Lisa. Just tell us what you're planning. Her face whitens, her eyes darting between Alex and me. I can explain, she stammers, but her voice lacks conviction. We're listening, I say, my tone hard, my arms folded across my chest. I need to hear her side, no matter how painful it might be. It's not what you think, she begins, her voice a mix of defiance and fear. Yes, I've been meeting someone, but it's not an affair. It's business. Dangerous business. Dangerous how? Alex interjects, his brows furrowed in confusion and curiosity. Lisa hesitates, taking a deep breath before continuing. I got involved with some people. Investors. At first, it was just about money, but then things got complicated. They're not just investors, they're laundering money, and now they want to use our accounts to clean it. I feel a chill run down my spine. Our accounts? You're using our money for this? The betrayal stings, deep and painful. I didn't have a choice. They threatened me, Lisa pleads, her eyes wide with fear. I thought I could handle it, manage it without involving you. Alex and I exchange a glance, the situation more serious than either of us anticipated. We need to go to the police, I decide, my voice firm. No, you don't understand. They're dangerous. If they find out I've told you. Lisa trails off, her fear palpable. We'll protect you, Alex reassures her, stepping forward. But only if you tell us everything. All of it. Lisa nods, tears starting to form in her eyes. Okay. I'll tell you everything. The next hour is a blur of confessions and plans, Lisa detailing her entanglement with a criminal network so tangled that it seems almost impossible to escape. But with each word, a plan forms, taking shape in our concerted effort to end this without further harm. We'll handle this, together, I assure her, feeling a strange mix of betrayal and compassion. Tomorrow, we go to the police. We bring everything into the light. As Alex and I leave the house, the evening sky now darkening to a deep blue, I feel the weight of the day settling in. Tomorrow, the real battle begins. The morning dawns with an uneasy calm, the kind that precedes a storm. Alex and I are back at the house, ready to take Lisa to the police station. The plan is simple: hand over all the evidence we've gathered, reveal the threats she's under, and dismantle the criminal network that has ensnared her. Lisa is subdued, her eyes shadowed with sleeplessness and fear. Are you sure this is the right thing to do? She asks for the 100th time as we sit in the kitchen, waiting for the right moment to leave. It's the only way, I reply, my voice steady. We need to end this, once and for all. The drive to the police station is tense. Lisa sits in the back, her hands fidgeting in her lap. Alex and I exchange grim looks, knowing that this is a turning point, a moment that will define our futures. As we pull into the parking lot, a black SUV screeches to a halt beside us. Before we can react, the doors fly open, and 4 men in suits spill out, guns drawn. Get out of the car, now, one of them shouts. Fear grips me, but I push it down, stepping out slowly with my hands raised. Lisa and Alex do the same, the 3 of us standing vulnerable in the harsh daylight. The man in charge steps forward, his face hard and unforgiving. Lisa, he says coldly, you've been a very naughty girl. Who are you? I demand, my voice shaking with a mix of anger and fear. We're here to clean up a mess, the man replies, ignoring my question. And you 3 are coming with us. As they begin to force us into the SUV, sirens wail in the distance. Police cars swarm into the lot, officers pouring out and surrounding us. The men in suits hesitate, their leader cursing under his breath. This isn't over, he snarls, retreating to their vehicle. The police quickly secure the scene, officers separating us and taking statements. Detective Harris, a grizzled veteran with a stern demeanor, approaches us. You're lucky we were tailing these guys, he says. They've been on our radar for months. Inside the station, Lisa spills everything. She details the money laundering scheme, the threats, and her fear. Detective Harris listens intently, nodding occasionally. We'll need all the evidence you have, he says finally. We can protect you, but only if you cooperate fully. Lisa agrees, handing over her laptop and the files Maya collected. As the police start their work, we're escorted to a safe house, a nondescript building on the outskirts of town. In the safe house, the tension is almost unbearable. Alex and I pace the small living room while Lisa sits curled up on the couch, staring blankly at the wall. What now? She whispers, her voice breaking. Now we wait, Alex replies softly, sitting beside her. The police will take care of it. The wait is agonizing, but a few days later, we get the news: the criminal network has been dismantled, its leaders arrested. Lisa is free, her name cleared. But the relief is short-lived. One evening, as we sit in the safe house, there's a knock on the door. I open it to find Maya standing there, a grim look on her face. "We need to talk," she says, stepping inside. "What is it?" I ask, dread settling in my stomach. "It's about the key," Maya begins, her eyes flicking to Lisa. "I did some digging, and it turns out it's not just about the money laundering. There's more." She hands me a file, and as I flip through it, my blood runs cold. "Lisa, what is this?" I ask, my voice trembling. Lisa stands, her face pale. I don't know," she stammers, but the fear in her eyes tells a different story. "The key you found, it's not just to Alex's apartment. It's part of a larger network, a safety deposit box with crucial evidence against high-profile figures involved in the scheme. They're coming for it, and they know you have it," Maya explains. The realization hits me like a punch to the gut. "So they were after more than just you," I say, turning to Lisa. "They want the key." Before we can react, the door bursts open, the men from the SUV storming in. "Give us the key," the leader demands, his gun trained on us. Time seems to slow. Alex and I move simultaneously, grabbing anything we can use as a weapon. A struggle ensues, chaos erupting in the small room. Lisa scrambles for the file, clutching it to her chest as she ducks behind the couch. Maya fights alongside us, her skills evident as she takes down one of the men. But the leader is relentless, his eyes locked on Lisa. "The key," he shouts again, advancing on her. In a desperate move, I lunge at him, tackling him to the ground. The gun goes off, a deafening crack echoing in the room. Pain sears through my shoulder, but I don't let go, wrestling the weapon from his grip. Alex and Maya subdue the remaining men, the room falling silent except for our heavy breathing. "It's over," Alex says, helping me to my feet. Lisa stands, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry," she sobs, clutching the file. I didn't know how far this would go." The police arrive, taking the men into custody and securing the evidence. As we're escorted back to the station, I realize the depth of the conspiracy we've uncovered. But despite the pain and betrayal, there's a sense of closure. In the weeks that follow, the investigation unfolds, revealing the extent of the criminal network and the key role we played in bringing it down. Lisa is granted immunity in exchange for her full cooperation, and slowly, we start to rebuild our lives. Through it all, my friendship with Alex only grows stronger, forged in the fire of betrayal and redemption. And as for Lisa, she begins the long journey of earning back our trust, one step at a time. The key, once a symbol of deception, becomes a catalyst for change. And though the scars remain, we emerge stronger, united in our resolve to face whatever the future holds together.